Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Yo, Sakai Fed family, peace, love, and the most light, man, to all of you watching this video. You read the title, you seen the thumbnail. My name is Dudley, aka Dudley Does with DudleyDoes.com. Okay, now before I get into this video, I do want to say this. I am a health professional, yes, but I'm not a medical doctor. Those of you that are familiar with my channel that have been subscribing for a while know that a lot of my teachings are not necessarily Western medicine or philosophy. A lot of my teachings and a lot of things that I do for my clients, people that I train, are mainly from Eastern philosophy and health, African medicine, Ayurvedic teaching, Asian styled medicine, things of that nature. And so I just have to get that disclaimer out there. Choose, what you feel is best for your life. And I do want to say this, I do send you guys good energy, health, abundance, and peace. And at the very bare minimum, we have to understand that all of us have, potential cancer cells in our body. The thing is, all cancer is an abnormal growth of cells. We must understand that what we put in our body, as far as what we consume, contributes to cancer. Our bodies replenish itself, our tissues replenish itself based off of the foods that we put into our body. Our cells are made up of what we eat. So as we go into this video, just keep that in mind. Be mindful of what you are consuming. Is what you are consuming, pushing you away from maladies and cancer, or is it bringing you there on a fast lane, express lane? You feel me? HOV lane. And so as I go into this video, I want you guys to keep this in mind. With that being said, family, let's get into the video, man. This is 6 tips to prevent cancer. The first thing you can do to prevent cancer is simply eat properly. Now, I personally live a predominantly plant-based lifestyle. Those of you that are familiar with me, when I'm in the USA, because I am out of the country a lot and I'm always in different places, I eat probably 95% plant-based, and sometimes I eat 100% plant-based for sometimes a year at a time. I'm very intuitive with the way that I eat. I might go vegan for 2 years, 3 years, and then I'll eat some fish somewhere. Now, when I'm out in other countries, and you're gonna see why I do this as we go down the list, as I'm in other countries, for example, this year I spent about 4 months in South America. I lived in Colombia, I was in Mexico. Now, you have to understand, and this is coming from an immigrant to this country as well. A lot of people, especially immigrants, let's say that you're from Vietnam, you're from an African country, a European country, you're from the islands. When you come to the West, whether you come to the US, might be Canada, you have to understand that the same fish that you used to go with your cousins and your friends that used to go and dive and get the fish, it's not the same in the US. The US is packed full of chemicals. And so you got to understand that what we eat contributes to cancer. It fuels cancer. And so eating properly is essential to when you want to, mitigate these issues, when you want to prevent cancer. All right. Now, I personally, I have most of my clients that I train, they eat predominantly plant-based. It's okay to have some of your fish every now and again and your chicken and things of that nature. But a lot of my clients come to me that are, obese, they have high cholesterol, things of that nature. Cholesterol can only be found in animal products. So if your cholesterol is out of whack, I would recommend that you cut out the meat and animal products for a while. I'm gonna say it again. Cholesterol is only found in animal products. Out of the top 15 killers in the US, out of the top 15 killers in chronic illnesses in the US, a plant-based diet can cure at least 11 to 12 of them. So this is why it's imperative that we watch what we eat. What are we consuming? Consuming meats, especially processed meats with nitrates, and meats in general, especially in Western society and things of this nature, mass production, all these things can, they could literally fuel cancer, such as colon cancer, okay, prostate cancers. All right, I recommend always you guys eat whole foods and ancient grains. A lot of people like to talk about whole grains. A lot of grains irritate your gut, okay, such as wheat and all of these things, okay. So I recommend ancient grains, and sparingly. I don't consume grains every single day. All right. Now, also, with that being said, I have to be honest. We are not all created the same. We're not. You need to get to know your ancestors and your bloodline and your family. Where are you from? Are you Asian? Okay? Are you African? Are you European? You need to understand what works best for your body and stop trying to, or rather not stop trying to, but don't let somebody else tell you, what's best for your body. Even with this video, take into, account things that resonate with you and throw out what doesn't. But for example, I am an African male. So what fits well with my body is predominantly plants. You might be European. You might be able to consume more meat than me. You might be a descendant of a Viking, right? You might be a descendant of, Asiatic people. So you need to, study yourself and get to know what works best with your family, what works best with your body. You can experiment, eat different foods, and just keep in mind, how do you feel? Do you feel good when you eat fish? Do you feel good when you eat grains? Some people, they can't do grains. Some people can't do meat. Some people can't do dairy, okay? For example, Africans in general cannot do dairy. Over 70% of the global population is, intolerant to dairy. And so just keep these things in mind, because all of these things can contribute, and honestly do contribute, to abnormalities in the body, leading to cancers and other sicknesses and maladies. All right. Number 2, the second way to prevent cancer, all right, is exercise regularly. I cannot stress this enough. Now, I am a little bit biased because I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm a personal trainer, but I have to be honest, exercise is something that a lot of people, especially increasingly now in Western society, people are just not getting enough movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm always telling my mom, I'm always telling her, like, you gotta move your body a little bit, right? And so, I recommend personally an hour a day, but generally just 30 minutes of exercise a day can drastically reduce your risk of getting cancer. All right, now there's so many benefits to exercise. I can go on and on and on. Just to name a few, it opens up your capillaries so that your blood pressure becomes normal. Okay, it increases your hormone production. This is why athletes are always so horny. It increases your libido. It's so healthy for your hormones, for your system. Okay, I mean, seriously, only 30 minutes a day. This can be some brisk walking. This can be, just any type of movement that involves you moving your body, okay, can decrease, your risk factors for colon cancer, endometrial cancer, breast cancer. All these things are correlated. Okay, we have to move. Our bodies were designed to move. All right, this is so important. I cannot stress this enough. Now, as a health and wellness coach, I recommend that you do at least 2 to 3 musculoskeletal exercises a week. So 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 workouts of actually pushing some weight, pulling some weight, followed by 3 to 4 aerobic activities per week minimum, meaning this could be walking, jogging, swimming. Now, you can fuse these two together. It can be in one workout. You can have 3 workouts per week. Maybe it's an hour and a half, to where, let's say you're doing some type of a full body functional thing. Maybe you're doing something like Pilates, which is great at strengthening all of the little muscles in the body, as well as getting some cardiovascular work. Maybe you're doing something like CrossFit. Maybe you're doing some type of a spin class. These are all options where you can knock both of these out throughout the week. When we're talking about cancer, moving your body, eating properly, these are things that are essential to yourself, and ultimately these are ways that you can honor yourself on a more spiritual level. Okay, so moving on to number 3. What's up, family? I had to stop the video real quick. Hold on. To thank today's sponsor, BioNatal, for their black seed oil. I will link an article down below because I've spoken about black seed oil so many times on this channel. With over 103 benefits, some known as to cure STDs such as herpes. Don't believe me? Read the article. Okay, I personally use this oil for inflammation. Okay, this is even good for men with receding hairlines. Now, balding runs in my family. I started balding at 20. I'm not on the second half of my 20s, and I'm holding on. My top should have been dropped. Okay, so but in seriousness, there are so many benefits to using black seed oil. If you guys aren't familiar with it, black seed oil is a natural medicine that has been used for thousands and thousands of years. It was used in ancient Africa. It was used in Asia. It was even found in King Tut's coffin, man. I love this. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this is very potent. This is, from Ethiopia. It goes down like gasoline. I take about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons every single day. Okay, so I highly recommend that you chase it with a juice. This is pretty much like, it's not equivalent to apple cider vinegar, but the same way that you kind of have to chase apple cider vinegar and dilute it, I highly recommend that you do with this because this is very powerful. Now, some of the known benefits of this, as I said earlier, is curing STDs. A lot of people have cured themselves of STDs, inflammation, increasing cognitive ability. This is good for people with dementia. Again, if you don't believe me, do your own research. I will also link an article down below. This is also a natural aphrodisiac. This is good for, you know, removing mucus in the penile, you feel me? In the penis. So if you are somebody struggling with, you know, ED, this is also good for that. It's also good for fertility. If you are struggling with infertility issues, I mean, I can just go on and on about how beneficial this is, man. So right now I'm gonna link it down below. Okay, you can, this is a premium product. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a premium product. You get what you pay for. But right now you can use my coupon code Dudley5 to save 5% off on every bottle that you buy. I highly recommend that you go check this out and just see how it works for you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, come back to the video and tell me. I know you're gonna like it. Okay, so with that being said, thank you so much BioNato for providing great quality black seed oil. It's a lot of non-regulated black seed oils on the market, man. But with that being said, this sponsor is taking way too long. Let's get back into the video. Getting quality sleep. Now this is one that I used to struggle with a lot because I'm always trying to hustle, I'm always trying to grind, and this culture pushes out that you have to produce and produce and produce and not necessarily, you know, take time for yourself. Sleeping is so important in cancer prevention, and I think a lot of people, I think a lot of doctors are not talking about this, and they're not acknowledging this. Okay, now we have to understand what happens when we sleep. When we sleep, our cells, our tissues are replenishing themselves. Okay, and so if you're not allowing your body to rest, your vessel to rest, you cannot replenish yourself. You guys, if you go to my old videos, you always heard me talk about how as an athlete, when we, you know, train hard and we break down our muscle, right, our immune system goes in a, you know, depressed state. And so you guys always hear me talking about combating free radicals with things like antioxidants, you know, resting, sleeping. This is very important as a human being that you get quality rest. Now, studies have shown that people on average that get less than 6 hours of sleep a night are 4 times more likely to develop heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, chronic illnesses, things of that nature. So we have to really stress down as a society, as a people, on how important quality sleep is. This is crucial. Number 4, this one is tough. A lot of people are going to struggle with this. I get so many questions from clients about this one all the time, man. So this one is avoid sugar. Okay, now let me elaborate. Sugar is natural. Okay, the body makes sugar. The body actually takes sugar from the muscles. It converts glycogen into glucose, okay, when we need it. I've been talking about this for years. Now we have to understand sugar occurs naturally in nature, in fruits, in sugar cane, in apples, things of that nature. Now I often get the question of, well, Dudley, you know, well, is it bad if I consume too much fruit? Or, you know, what's the difference between, you know, fruits and powdered white sugar or these types of sugars? The difference is this: when you consume an apple, and I spoke about this previously, when you consume a fruit, you're getting fiber, you're getting other nutrients that are going to satiate you. But when you're drinking that cup of coffee from Starbucks, there can be 90 grams of sugar in that cup. Go try to eat 90 grams worth of an apple, a cantaloupe. You're going to be more satiated quickly. And so we have to understand that sugar, cancer cells love sugar. Cancer cells thrive off of sugar. This is why oftentimes cancer patients, especially when they're in the East, they're prescribed to intermittent fast. Because when you fast and you starve the cancer cells of the sugar and the food, your body is able to do what it naturally does, and it's able to heal itself. Okay, so you got to understand that processed sugars is what fuels cancer. Cancer loves it. If you don't believe me, go do the research. Cancer loves sugar, and sugar is actually a drug. Anytime that you take something out of nature, for example, something that's naturally occurring, sugar, and you isolate it, it now becomes a drug. This is why I'm sure you guys have heard those studies that were done with rats, where they found out that sugar to them was more addictive than cocaine. Sugar literally rewires the chemistry of your brain. This is why people, will oftentimes crave sugar. I'll give you an example. So I remember at the beginning of this year, when I went down to South America, I was in a very local, healthy town in Colombia. And I hadn't realized that the ketchup that I always use here has added sugar in it. So I remember the first 2 to 3 weeks that I was there, I was like, dang man, I really want something sweet. And I couldn't find nothing sweet in that town. Everything was just natural fruits. I was detoxing. I was having withdrawals of sugar. And a lot of us don't notice sugar is all around us, whether it's in our sauces, whether it's in the bread that you're buying that you think that's healthy. Those breads that advertise themselves as being whole grain, natural wheat, which by the way, wheat agitates the gut as well. But that's a whole nother video. Okay, so you have to be very mindful of all of the things that are around you. What are you consuming? I guarantee you 95% of the things that we're consuming has sugar. Is your life run by sugar? Okay, so this is one way to prevent cancers, okay, various cancers, is by eliminating processed sugar out of your lifestyle, period. This next one right here is stress, okay? Now, there are different types of stress. There's eustress, which is typically positive, you feel me? If you have something exciting that's about to happen, you're getting a little bit excited before a sporting event, things of that nature. And there's distress, something that's traumatic. Now, with that being said, okay, we have to understand that stress causes a lot of things, right? And I don't believe it's necessarily entirely a direct cause of cancer, per se, but the effect that it has on our body, the hormones it releases after something stressful happens to us, can lead to cancer, okay? That's one thing that we definitely have to understand. I oftentimes tell people, take some time off to honor yourself, meditate, laugh today. Did you smile today? Did you laugh? We live in such a stressful society now. Everybody's trying to make money to survive. These things weigh down on you. There's an imbalance in you that's allowing this cancer to take over you. And so this goes back to Ayurvedic teachings or African teachings, the woo-woo stuff, right? I urge you guys, there is another aspect to medicine that Western society likes to ignore, and it's for a specific reason. But stress is another way that you can get cancer. You want to mitigate and eliminate as much stress in your life as possible, as much negative stress as possible that you can. I'm an immigrant, you feel me? I watched both my parents work 18-hour days. It's not, this next piece of advice that I'm going to give you, sometimes it's not always applicable to everybody. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always working. I work every single day. But I have a time where I cut off and I allow myself to de-stress and relax. If you can do this, take, even if it's 30 minutes out your day, to honor yourself by doing something that you love, something that you enjoy, something that uplifts your spirit. A lot of people are stuck in the rat race, living day to day, going to a job that they hate. They're so filled up with anger, which, by the way, anger changes your whole physiology, okay? It changes your whole body. Take some time off. If you are somebody that is working 18-hour days, even if it's just 5 minutes, go to the bathroom and sit down and just take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are having a beautiful experience. That can do wonders for you, okay? So that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that in a whole nother video, but understand that one way to prevent cancer, one way that you can prevent it, is by being very conscious of the amount of stresses that you have. And then number 6, last but not least, I could have made this 15 tips, but I didn't, okay? Number 6, alcohol. Avoid alcohol at all costs. You can still have your glass of red wine, things of that nature. People always ask me, Dudley, do you drink? I never see you drinking. It's because I don't need to drink. Drinking has never made me feel good. I may drink once in a while, and by once in a while, I mean maybe once a year, twice a year. But understand that alcohol fuels cancer. Again, with the sugars, do you see the pattern here? With the sugars, alcohol, I could have also said tobacco, smoking, but anyway, let's stay on point. Okay, did you know that about 20% of all cancer-related deaths is due to alcohol consumption? Look it up. When it comes to alcohol consumption, alcohol is a major risk factor when it comes to contributing to cancer. I can sit there and name a list of cancers that alcohol is directly responsible for, but I would like you guys to actually go do some homework, because don't believe anything I'm saying in this video. I want you to actually go do your research. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. I'm just giving you guys a little message, okay? As I always encourage you, go do your own research. Every time you drink alcohol, every time you have an alcoholic beverage, and I've spoken about this again, how the certain types of chemical reactions that happens when food or anything we put in our body, how it interacts with our body, right? Anytime that you consume a shot, your shots, your little Nouveau, your little Hennessy, okay, your little Ciroc, anytime you have a shot of that, the body is actually converting that into a carcinogen known as acetaldehyde. Look this up, and this is a known carcinogen. Every time you take a little swig, your body is literally converting that into a carcinogen. Now, alcohol, you guys know by now, man. I'm not trying to make the video too long. It has a plethora of side effects, from shrinking your brain, damaging your liver, heart issues, potential fertility issues, all these above, man. But with that being said, guys, that's the video. I wanted to share with you guys in honor of it being October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My mother had breast cancer, and I watched her beat it on a vegan diet, so that could be biased. I don't know. But with that being said, I truly do wish you guys much health, much success. I love you guys. I'm sending you guys good energy, peace, prosperity, all the above. I pray, my intention with this video is to enlighten you a little bit so that you may go do your own research and find your own truth. Everybody's different, but I really feel that this video can help save somebody's life. So if I even save one person, then the purpose of this video was fulfilled, man. So thank you so much, guys, man. Peace.